A hospital director once said to me, "Why do you do what you do, Bruce?" I said, "Well, you know, we're a church. I figure that if Jesus were here, this is the sort of thing he would do. Because he cared for the marginalised, he cared for the homeless, he cared for those in trauma, he cared for those sick and those who are dying. And we figure if this is what he would do, we want to be like that."
About 5 years ago, I heard about Bruce and his organisation and the fact that there was someone in the community that might be able to assist us. So it was a fantastic opportunity to develop a relationship with someone that would actually be able to meet the needs that we have in intensive care for our families outside of their normal support networks, outside of their hometowns, all these different things that, you know, create a really vulnerable state for people.
The moorings was incredibly helpful in supporting this lady and also her 6-year-old daughter. They were able to provide accommodation and went over and beyond to find people that spoke her natural language. It makes my job a lot easier to be able to focus on the patient and what he needed, knowing that his wife was cared for.
Lavender Mother and Baby Unit is a statewide service, and it's where the mum has got a significant mental illness that has to be looked after in hospital. It was just after the terrible floods, and a mother had given birth. You wonderful folks were able to put them up in the units just down the road. I drove them in the car to the units and we walked in and they burst into tears.
We had a family come down from Cairns. It was such a quick and easy process to refer this family onto them, and they really supported with accommodation and food supports and transport.
Obviously it's often a very crisis-driven and scary time for parents. We take babies who are born from 23 weeks gestation. We service all the way down to Grafton, so we fly babies in, and often parents are brought up by ambulance.
I came to Australia for a 1 week's holiday before my baby was born, but my baby decided he wanted to be born in Australia at 24 plus 3. It was emotionally an upheaval because I didn't know what to expect. I was introduced to the moorings. The friendship and the support that I had there from the moorings was just amazing, and I know if I needed to ask something or wanted to help with anything, they were going to be there.
That little gift pack that you offer them when they see ice cream and Tim Tams and nuts, and they say, "Oh my gosh, someone's made me a homemade steak and kidney pie." That is comfort 101.
Our kinship structure is different to the normal European kinship structure, so it's a lot larger. So Mum was still up in Gladstone, still caring for 8 other children. The mooring also supported her and other family members to come down.
Food, transport, just really created a peace of mind for that family.
Being able to work with the mooring to provide that care and that accommodation and reduce the psychosocial stress absolutely leads to greater impacts and outcomes for our babies.
People don't expect heart. They expect medical treatment and then they get heart. And that's what the moorings is on about for me.
I think the mooring has become essentially what we envisioned it to be, and that 400 referrals later, that I'm incredibly proud and happy, and I'm sure Bruce is, of how that's developed to a really sustainable service.
The mooring got underway in 2015, and we were really fortunate to get underway with some seed funding from churches across Queensland. Funding, of course, is our ongoing challenge as an organisation. As a not-for-profit that doesn't receive any funding from anywhere else, it's actually not a part of our church budget. The funding has come from areas that we hadn't expected and has been vital to the operation of the mooring. So budget-wise, the mooring operates at about a $100,000 budget. All the generous donors that have contributed have been really significant, but it still leaves us with about a 40% gap. That funding is really filled by normal mums and dads, families contributing. It's absolutely vital to the operation of the mooring.
Nobody plans a crisis in their life. It's not much what we do, but it just takes that extreme stress away.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. I'm delighted to inform the House I was honoured to recognise the Volunteer of the Year for the Northern Gold Coast, the organisation The Mooring. I'd like to commend to the House the outstanding service of the team at The Mooring and acknowledge the work they do, and thank Pastor Steve Peach.
A fellow called Hudson Taylor once said, Sometimes things seem impossible, then they're difficult, then they're done. This is the story of the mooring.